Hey, hello all. My name is Balaji, and I'm currently playing the role of an executive coach or a leadership agile uh, mentor. So, in this particular video, I just thought to give a quick introduction into something called a dynamic budgeting. Okay, so typically at a no a typically at a portfolio level, if you want to do a dynamic budgeting or a rolling wave kind of a budgeting, so probably what I do is that let me share my screen and then I will walk you through on how to actually get it done. Okay, so before I actually get into this particular topic of dynamic budgeting, I just want to introduce you to a customized agile framework what I actually created. So much of the pointers of this particular framework had been taken from the SAFe. But if you see at a portfolio level, what is that I have done is first of all, I am now focusing on the investment themes. Okay, so what do you mean by an investment theme? Typically at a portfolio level, if I want to do the funding, I want to be clear on okay, what are all the categories of different varieties of initiatives, meaning to say run and protect, tech refresh, development, factory of tomorrow. When I say factory of tomorrow, it is actually predominantly from the R&D. So when we have clarity on the different flavors of initiatives which can be funded, probably that would be a good start in terms of the dynamic budgeting. So as the name, no, as the name indicates, when we say dynamic budgeting, it is a rolling wave kind of a budgeting. So I cannot do a rolling wave kind of a budgeting if I do not operate at a operational value stream level, because only when I touch the operational value stream, I am closer to the business agility. Just by talking about the development value stream or the product development or the software development internal to the organization ecosystem is not really going to touch the market rhythm. So first of all, when you are talking about the dynamic of budgeting, let us be clear on the portfolio level priorities, because my organization is by and large collection of multiple portfolios wherein all the vision of the portfolio is being attributed to the enterprise strategy and the enterprise vision. From that perspective, if you understand how does the dynamic budgeting happen for one single portfolio, probably you can expand that particular knowledge across your no across the entire organization. So in this particular portfolio, I have multiple varieties of work item types or varieties of initiatives. So run and protect is the normal BAU projects and programs which still need to be funded. And when you take a tech refresh, it is more on the code migration and the technical related initiatives, probably an infrastructure revamp, all those kind of things. And you take a development is the greenfield projects. And probably you can have one more investment team called a factory of tomorrow, which is going to take care of the R&D. So having been said, let's say that I have clarity on all the investment mix, then I will be looking into the portfolio KRA, portfolio KPIs. Now the question comes, from where will I get the portfolio KRA and the portfolio KPIs? Once you do an OKR workshop, which is called objective and key results at a portfolio level, those things will give you indications of your portfolio strategy and your portfolio KRA and KPI. Now let me take you to a slide. Okay, in this particular slide, I have given some of the examples for something called as strategic themes, because as Scaled Agile framework says, strategic theme is going to connect my portfolio vision to the uh, basically the organization or the enterprise vision. But how am I going to do actually? For that, these are all some of the examples. Okay, say for example, hyper automation, digitalization of APAC and EMEA market segments, mobile and cloud platform initiatives, microservices-based architecture revamp, infrastructure revamp on the cloud. So when you have the clarity on different strategic themes, then I can think about, okay, these are all the initiatives which can be probably thought on the horizon. Now, in tune with the next Q1, Q2, Q3, in tune with the next Q1, Q2, the immediate quarter, what could be the priorities? Accordingly, I will take certain initiatives and then I will do a budgeting. Now, how much to fund in how much? For example, see, if you have 100 rupees, you tend to spend 50 rupees for some coffee, and rather you spend some 40 rupees to purchase something else. So fundamentally, we all see that how much of money do I have at this point in time, and where is that I need to fund it. So if you go back to this particular diagram, once you fund it, let's say due to some business imperatives, we have selected few initiatives from a Tech Refresh and a few initiatives from a Run and Protect and a few initiatives from the development. And let's say it is funded. Once it is funded, then it will automatically become part of the road mapping activity. And once it become part of the road mapping, no, we all know that how it actually flows through the funnel. If you have clarity on the epic and the sub-epic, then probably you can go to the feature level. Now, let me also walk you through one of the article which I have written on the LinkedIn post. Okay, so if you go through this particular article, this is not a generic article on how to do dynamic budgeting, but it's an article on how I did dynamic budgeting, wherein I have clipped the image of the portfolio layer, and this particular sequence. No, let us try to go through it, and then we will try to understand the nitty-gritties of it now. Okay, so first of all, the first point says, let's be clear on the quarterly priorities at a portfolio level. So I have started doing this with my leadership team by conducting a OKR workshop. So once I do an objective and key result areas based on the OKRs, fundamentally, I will be having a clarity. Okay, for this upcoming quarter, these are the 4 or 5 critical objectives. Then let us also remember that in an agile driven engagement, priorities tend to change. Hence, it is not a one-time activity. You may also always continuously try to have a periodic review into that particular OKR. Then have clarity on the epics, because whatever be the work initiative, it is getting translated into the building blocks of epics. So unless and until I have clarity on the product road mapping or the portfolio road mapping, I cannot begin the game. So let's have clarity on, okay, what are those particular epics which is having a relevance of a touch point with these particular initiatives. And then what you need to do is understand the investment mix model. I say it is a mixed model because it could contain development activities, factory of tomorrow, Run and Protect, Tech Refresh. In my example, okay, your own example need not be the same. So I'm just giving you an example. Examples are always examples. Don't take it literally word by word. You understand the concept, look into your own product ecosystem or look into your project ecosystem, then take a decisive call. Okay, now here what I'm trying to do is, one of the example of a strategic theme is, say for example, digitalization of APAC and EMEA emerging market segment for premium client. This is one of the strategic theme, because if I fund this particular initiative, and then if I keep the ball rolling, it is going to give a positive impact on my balance sheet. See, what is the use of your agile transformation, or what is the use of your business transformation if it is not going to create a positive impact on your balance sheet? Because the more you go higher in the ladder, it's always the numbers which are going to echo. So what is my the top line, what is my bottom line, what is my revenue margin, what is my CAGR, compounded annual growth rate. So any kind of an agile transformation or any kind of a business transformation should have a positive impact on the balance sheet. That is why in my agile mentorship program, which is at a level 3, I actually teach people on something called how to do balance sheet driven agile transformation. Okay, so like I will come back on that topic pretty later. So to stay focused, here I have mentioned that investment themes combined with a strategy is called as a strategic theme. So what you see in the scaled agile framework, a small icon called a strategic theme, I am implemented it practically using a mix of these particular things. One second. Okay, so what you see as a strategic theme in the scaled agile framework at a portfolio layer, here I have practically implemented using a mix of investment theme combined with the strategy. Okay, this plus this. Okay, now if you keep going, once you have done all these things, you may also need to look into your portfolio KPIs. And here I have given some of the examples of the portfolio KPI. And then you can start looking into the horizontal budget guardrail. So this horizontal budget guardrail is going to tell, okay, what is the percentage of, or what is the maximum amount that I can fund in all these particular initiatives across the PIs, because everything is getting translated into a workable action item within the PI boundaries, right? So within the PI, PI1, PI2, PI3, PI4. Within the PI, you may have sprint 1, sprint 2. Okay, depending upon your own ecosystem, you may have 5 sprints or a 6 sprint within the PI. Now the point is, this horizontal budget guardrails, I have implemented it hands-on using a tool called the target process. Okay, while I may not basically show you the tool here. Probably if you see the end state of the graph, okay, it actually looks like that. In terms of the horizontal budget guardrails, what are all the categories of the applications along the time horizon, and how much can be funded across the program increments, PI1, PI2, PI3, PI4. Okay. Now, once you are done with that, across the PI, you can continue to keep a watchful eye on the horizontal budget guardrails. Okay. Now, for example, if you take let's say if you take a particular company, they may have a strategy. Now, depending upon the market rhythm, depending upon the nature of clients they are having, depending upon the existing portfolio diversification, probably some of the strategies could be, okay, I am going to fund in existing core services. I am going to fund in accelerating new services. And some amount of initiative could be platform re-engineering. So what you define as a portfolio depends upon what is the vision of your organization, what is the mission of your mission of your organization, where are you currently, where do you want to go, what will take you from point X to point Y. Now, the point what I am trying to tell is, the way you need to start a dynamic budgeting is, you may need to do a OKR workshop to understand what is the objective and the key result areas. Second thing, you may need to come up with some way of objectivity in measuring the business value. So how do you measure? You either take the envisioned ROI, or you take some kind of a Fibonacci number to measure the relative business value, because the moment you use a Fibonacci number, you are just using a relative scale of a measurement of the business value. You are not with the absolute value of the business value. So you may need to plug and play, or you may need to try it out what makes utmost relevance for you. Now, one more metric which I generally try to look in an agile driven engagement, typically at a portfolio layer, is capital redeployment. So what it means is, I have started with a funding of X, and by now somewhat 50% of the funding had been exhausted. But then luckily, almost most of the priorities have been completed. Now I can take the remaining funding, remaining 50% of the funding, and then I can repurpose the funding into some other initiative. So just to cut a long story short, unless and until there is an element of repurposing, responding to change rather than following a plan, you take a pause, reflect upon the market need, and then you just take the money from here and then plug it over to someone else. I'm not seeing, if you're not doing all these things dynamically, believe me, you are not doing a dynamic budgeting. Maybe you are doing an annual planning and just trying to do a quarterly budgeting. Unless and until you actually fund the epics, unless and until you have identified your value stream, and then you start funding your unless you start funding your epics and try to measure the epic. You can build an MVP model hypothesis to measure the epic, and based on the outcome of that particular measurement, if you take a call whether to continue funding or not, I don't think we are really doing a dynamic budgeting. So probably my suggestion would be, if you are really interested to do some kind of a dynamic budgeting, and if you wanted to know more, you can begin with an OKR and then try to contextualize your business value, try to quantify your business value, and then you can look into these frameworks like SAFe or any other framework. So, okay, so let us let us keep in mind, the objective is not to implement SAFe. The objective is not to implement Scrum, Kanban, or a Spotify, or any other model. Objective is to either solve the existing pain point to the client, or improve the process improvement, or bring in business agility, whatever client wants. Okay, through these frameworks. So frameworks are not the end state in itself. It is a means to obtain or achieve better business outcomes. So from this perspective, if you are trying to leverage the touch points from the framework, I do believe we are also doing justice to that the particular role. Okay, so before I end this particular video, I just like to introduce you to something called as my Agile Mentorship program. I do have a mentorship program for multiple levels, level 1, 2, 3. So if in case you are interested to know more about Agile and practically doing all this balance sheet driven Agile transformation and all these aspects, you can probably get connected with me. I will drop my WhatsApp number on the description of this particular video. Okay, fine. Okay, cheers all, bye.